because a man's got to do. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Two Nerds, One Quest. After a 2-week hiatus and a Easter, I hope everyone had a fantastic Sunday, family and friends, and if nothing else, some deviled eggs. Because, yes, deviled eggs are great.
Had so many.
It's weird that I consume more deviled eggs on Easter, of all days, than any other day of the year.
Not a coincidence.
I am your host and DM for this show, JC Dittmer, here with these three nerds, because you know math is hard. That first man talking to us today in the black shirt there be one Ryan Krixis Kukta.
I'll keep talking if you want. I can fill all day. Hey, happy Sunday, everybody.
Sundays are for D&D. And then that other man giving the horns there is one Tom M. Norman playing Doug.
I am just curious as to what you were going to finish that sentence with.
A man's got to do what a man's got to do, and I'm going to do what you tell me to, because I'm top dog around here, but I've been neutered. Man, you've never heard that song?
No.
The man song.
The
It's
man
like a Bob
song.
and Tom, right? It's a Bob and Tom.
No, that was
absolutely.
it Bob and Tom?
Was
it Bob and Tom, or
they
was
played
it
it on Bob and Tom.
Okay. Yeah,
That's
because
where
I
I've
heard it
heard
on
it.
107.5. That last voice you hear there is one Jeff Jacob Williams. How are you this morning, buddy?
Oh man, the Bob and Tom show. There's a couple of really good bangers in there.
The cider commercial.
Yeah,
Dickens cider.
yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
The Pinkley Taurus commercial.
yeah, Pinkley Taurus. The Orange Barrels song. Orange barrels everywhere I see. Orange barrels looking back at me.
I haven't
Summer
listened to the
construct-
Bob and Tom show since high school. Not going to lie.
It's
One
now
of
just
those old.
Tom retired. No, not Tom. Bob retired.
Well,
Oh,
I would assume so.
yeah,
They-
one of those
5 years
old,
ago,
gotta be
Tom's
like
son
90.
is on the show with him now, too.
One of those old
I still
CDs I
listen
got
to
from
what's on.
Kook that had a bunch of comedy on it, and there was a bunch of Bob and Tom stuff on there.
Yeah. So it's been a while since we've all been. Well, no, it's been 2 weeks since we've all been here, but it
It's
feels
only
like
2 weeks.
forever.
Yeah, long weeks.
Not as long as
you
the
wanna
4 weeks
recap?
prior.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Yeah.
We'll get back on the game here, guys. If we can get out of this freaking cave today. You gotta recap and maybe a limerick for us there, genius.
Yeah, we gotta keep her moving. So, started off in the middle of a fight that looked very unlikely that we were going to succeed without major casualties, and a series of fortunate events occurred. Starting with getting inspiration in the pre-show, and then Krixis dodging the first one and only taking 8 damage out of his 10 hit points, and then Doug critting on a stake with using the inspiration, and then critting on a push with his shield, getting that guy out of the way, and then Jacob tossing a beat of force, getting him even further away, and then some nice shots killed the ally kobold. And then Doug went a little crazy, unleashing his smite with his mace, dealt a significant number of damage, and Jacob finished with his arrows. Everyone pretty much just dropped where they were, and Valine brought up the dome, and we got a long rest and got everybody's hit points back. Starting the next day then, found a frozen frost giant and a pillar of ice. Found where the vampire had escaped from when we opened the glacier, along with the 12 skulls from the skeletons we had seen earlier. Unfortunately, it was a dead end, so we had to backtrack and take the next available tunnel, where we found another hole in the floor, that nice smooth tunnel similar to the others. Rounding the bend, we found an ice sheet with a tentacled monster creature behind it that seemed to be probing our mind, and Doug found out that it was definitely evil. So In an attempt to sneak past, Tika, Doug, and Jacob rolled well, and Krixis and Valine went paralyzed, rigid, catatonic, and all of those things. Doug and Jacob did what they could for healing, but nothing seemed to work. So after about an hour, they finally came to, took a little damage, and got a little madness there. And we are standing in a hallway outside of a room that seemed to be polished to a mere shine. So here is your limerick for the week. We all had prepared for much sadness, but together defeated the badness. Then a monster probing bray-in had all of us prayin, lucky to come away with only some madness.
Nice.
And as I told the other guys, I wrote that this morning because I forgot to do it last night.
Very well done.
Nice. Still fantastic. Just a recap or a reminder, Krixis, you have a madness of paranoia, which gives you disadvantage on wisdom and charisma checks, which might not be too bad because you are proficient in both. And then Valine has a madness of hallucinating, so she has disadvantage on all ability checks, and she is seeing things. So as you stare into H32, this mirrored cavern, every surface of this 20-foot high cave is polished to a mere finish, such that you are faced with countless distorted reflections of yourself, and your head spins as you try and keep your bearings. What would you like to do?
Well, first what I would like to do, since they took so much damage, like I'm assuming we would have noticed significantly that they, dropped in hit points, right?
Yeah, they don't look like they're functioning well.
Okay, so I'm gonna...
kind of like when you get, hungover. That's probably the best way to put it. Psychic damage, it's primarily in their head, but they are not acting 100%.
What I'm going to do is, since they're standing next to each other, I'm going to kind of do the old revival prayer, revival Bible thing, where you put your hands on them and, praise the Lord, and I'm
push them to the ground?
Demons go.
Demons be
out.
gone! And I'm going to heal them both 15 hit points each with my paladin, what's it called? My lay on hands.
You can do 15 to each.
Yep.
How many points do you have?
30 left. I have a total of 35 to start. I use 5 to try and
you
get rid of.
You get 5 per level, don't you?
Something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Hells yeah. That works. There is a hallway as you stare into this cavern. There is a hallway off to your left as well that leads into another cavern.
Well, did we determine we were gonna take a short rest? Because I
No.
could use a couple more hit dice actually. Okay.
I think you guys had talked about it, but didn't actually do it. I'm
What
gonna
did
close
it-
this window because the birds are coming through on the stream. I can hear it.
I'm gonna just cure wounds myself then, just to get myself in a little bit more comfortable level.
Yeah, Valine usually sticks around the back of the pack, so she's probably fine.
So, did you say yes? Short rest?
It's
Nope.
wrecking my
I
immersion.
think
Unnecessary.
Okay.
let's find a little safe place to rest going to. As we're kind of in a conflux of hallways.
Good to go.
All right.
So-
we can send Tika. I mean, we can see the mirror room. We can send Tika in, or we can send her down the hallway, or
Send Tika into the mirror room.
all right.
So you send Tika into the mirror room, and she stumbles and is a little bit disoriented as she's walking through it, but she seems to walk through it without any long-term effects or anything jumping out at her or attacking her.
All right. Seems safe. What do we know about the other hallway? Nothing.
Nothing. Are
Any-
you going that way?
Sights, sounds, smells, anything coming from that way?
Perception check. I mean, you can turn the corner and you see that it splits off. It goes off into one room, and there's even more of a hallway off to the
All right.
left there.
Doug, you're our point scout. What do you think?
I think we should do whatever you just said. I was fixing some levels.
Perfect.
All right. Tika seemed to determine that H32 seems like a okay room, just disorienting, nothing attacking. We also have the hallways.
I think if it's that mirrored room, should we actually continue to rope ourselves together just so that we don't get lost?
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
That doesn't help our ranged fighters if everybody else has to stay with them. So
yeah, that's some truth in that. Valine's looking around. She seems skittish now, and yeah, she's really not keen to be tied to anyone right now.
I'm gonna throw my hands up.
Krixis, you would not like to be tied down right now either. You're a little paranoid.
All right, so I'm just gonna start walking in then. Do I see?
Right.
Is it easy to tell where the other side of the cave is?
Yeah, you can see it coming through. It's kind of like walking through at a haunted house, one of those vortex tunnels, a little bit. And although it's not spinning, but the movement around you from the reflections of yourself give you that like vertigo feeling a little bit through it. Nothing that's gonna throw you off your balance or anything, but it is slick. As long as you take your time, you walk through it easily. Is anyone you gonna peek at H35 or 34 at all? No?
Doug would.
I'm just asking. You don't have to.
Doug would probably, if we decide to go down H32, I would stick my head, or at least, kind of listen down each pathway, just to be sure that we're not going to get surprised.
Okay. Sticking your head in H34 and just peeking in there, there is a lot of debris and like large pieces of stone jut from the ceiling and the floor, and it all looks like chunks of the city that might have been left behind from when it crashed. Remarkably smooth, all these pieces of stone. You don't see anything that would be like, ooh, I need to go investigate that. Peeking down H35, you kind of peek your head around the corner, and sitting on the floor is a small, probably 1 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot green, almost looks like glass cube with no frost on it.
I'm gonna tell the group to hold on. Guys, hold on 1 second. There's this green cube on the floor. I need to check it out. So I'm gonna kind of slowly walk up to it.
It just sits there.
I'm gonna ask the professor if he's got any feedback on this cube.
Yeah, send me the professor.
All right, I'll
do you
pull
allow
him out
him
of the
to go, or
backpack
do you?
then.
I was gonna say,
I'll-
do you go with the professor, or do you allow him to mage hand himself over there?
I guess I'll
Krixis.
kind of toss him out, and he'll mage hand then to.
He doesn't understand what you're doing, and you
Oh.
toss him, and he's kind of like, wow, whoosh, and mage hands it. Warn me when you do that.
I thought you were supposed to be really smart, Professor.
That doesn't make me a mind reader. Okay. Anyways, yes. What do you need me to look at?
What is this? What is this box? What is this green cube?
I don't know. Let me. He kind of floats around it, looking at it. Oops.
I don't like oops, Professor.
No, that was the DM loop thing. 2d20s. Yeah, I don't know. Looks like a green glass box.
Can I see through it?
It's kind
Is
of
it-
translucent.
Yeah.
It's a little foggy.
All right.
Is it a puzzle to solve?
Krixis, come here, pick this up.
Okay. Krixis goes, and I'll try to pick up the cube.
Okay.
You told me to
Walk
do
over
it.
there. You walk over there and you put your hands on it to pick it up, and you pick it up. Both your hands are stuck to it. I need you guys to roll initiative. You are grappled by this, Krixis.
It's like super good.
As this small mimic.
Sucker.
There's always mimics.
That's about what it is.
So
Go ahead
many
and roll
mimics.
initiative.
All right.
I love this
Get it
game.
off, get it off, get it off, get it off.
I love this so much.
So
Oh, I have
I was
advantage.
going to say that's
better.
really low. Oh, yours is even worse.
14.
Oh, good. I was going to say probably Valine and Jacob are closer, probably in between the hallway between 34 and 32.
Yeah.
So I don't think
I
we would have
imagine
came
you
up
all-
quite so far.
You weren't really, like, far apart.
Yeah.
Let's see. Roll his.
Just enough movement to get there. So cool.
So the
Krixis,
initiative
hold it
order
out so I can
is...
swat at it.
Yeah.
The initiative order is the Mimic, Krixis, Doug, Valine, and then Jacob.
Perfect.
So the Mimic starts us. So it has you grappled, Krixis. And let's see. Creature grapple. Okay, so it gets advantage on these attacks. So it all of a sudden these like pseudopods come out and swat at you. Does 15 hit? Oh, it has advantage. Sorry. It's not necessarily a 15. It is a 15. It's 15.
Does not hit.
It's not at you. Next pseudopod. How do I get this to roll at advantage? Gotta right click on it? Yeah, there we go. Advantage.
Never grab the cube. Never grab the cube.
18 hit you?
Poke it.
18 does not hit. I
Oh,
have a
wow.
19.
Wow. Cool. Then
Things
it's
you can
gonna-
count on. Ryan's characters have high AC. Jeff's characters have high constitutions. Tom's
That's-
characters get high.
And then
All
it
accurate.
will attack with its bite. Oh crap, I forgot to hit advantage again. Ooh, it's a good thing it had advantage. 20 to hit on that one. As
Yeah,
it tries
20
to
hits.
Munch on your arm here. Which is 14 piercing damage. And 7 acid damage.
Oh.
As it starts to burn into your arm where it bit you.
It'd be cooler if I had something that I had resistance to, John. Think about that.
Yeah. That would be way cooler for you. That completes its turn. So then we move on to Krixis. You want some revenge? Here you go. You are currently grappled by it, though.
This is going to get weird for me. So, am I still... Like, are my hands available to me?
I'm going to say, because being grappled means you can still attack, that in biting you, it went to your left arm.
Got it. Okay.
And is now kind of a thing stuck to your left arm that you're trying to shake off or whatever.
All right. So I need to start then with a second level cure wounds on myself because I am hurting.
Yep.
And that's not as good as I wanted it to be.
It could be worse.
Yeah, it's fair. All right, and then see, I don't think I have any really cool bonus actions. So I am going to give who's next in the who looks like they're ready to attack next?
Doug.
Doug's
standing right next to you. He's got his weapon drawn. He's ready to smash your hand.
I'm going to try to give Doug some bardic inspiration and just say, all right, Doug, the son of a bitch is attached to me. Don't hit me, damn it. And he's going to be inspired by that.
I am inspired by that.
I'm going to hit him.
My turn's over then.
Well,
All right.
Doug is going to
Doug.
take a mighty swing with his mace and hope that he's accurate. Ooh, you're lucky. It's stuttered on 4. So what's the bardic inspiration plus?
You don't have to.
+6 if you need it.
Oh, plus
You
6
You
if I
don't
need
have
it.
to use
Okay.
it. You have it for like a minute or 10 minutes or something.
Okay. Well, my
So
first
with the
hit
20,
is a
would you
dirty 20.
like to use it?
No.
Would you like to use the Bardic Inspiration? No? Okay, that does hit.
For 5 damage.
For 5 damages.
Is Tika in the room there, would you say?
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine Tika kind of follows Doug around.
I will use the bardic inspiration for this one. It'll be a 16.
No, you have to roll
gotta
the.
roll.
It's a roll
Gotta
for the d6.
Oh, I thought it was just a. Oh, okay.
No, you don't get
It's
that
still
hit.
probably
It's not a
good,
+6. That would be crazy good.
Yeah.
12.
The dice.
12
to hit.
misses. So it's somewhere between 20 and 12. It's the ace.
Good to know. That's it. That's my turn.
That's it. All right, we move to Valine. Valine is going to. Oh, what is she going to do? She's going to pop off some spells here. In particular, because she didn't really heal herself much while you guys were resting. She is going to. She has it in here somewhere. There it is. Vampiric Touch It. Ooh, and she's going to do that at a higher level, I think. She's going to do that at 4th level.
Oh, jeez.
And that is a 16 to hit, which does hit. And she does 17 points of damage to it.
Nice.
So she heals herself for 17. And
Should put her right back on track.
I was going to say, is it full or half of that? I think it's the full amount. And you regain hit points equal to half the amount. Okay, so it doesn't take. She doesn't get 17, she gets 8. So I get
And it's always round down, right? When
Yeah.
it's halved? Yeah, okay.
always
Yeah.
round.
Yeah, unless the spell says otherwise.
Yep. But I gotta deal 17 damage to it. And then we can move on to Jacob. It's your turn.
All right. So looking at the room, it looks like they're all kind of clustered up in melee then.
Shoot an arrow. Shoot an arrow.
Just Tika's like kind of a little bit behind the two of them, but the two of them are together.
And Valine, because Vampiric Touch is a melee.
Is it? Oh, then she moved up in there. Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, so I think probably safer to make sure I get this right.
Do you need a ladder so you can kind of look over the top of everybody and shoot down?
No, that's Doc. I'll go with. I will go with Chill Touch because it feels a little safer than firing an arrow in there.
That's funny. Everybody's like just kind
because
of
it's-
crowded around Krixis, kind of like pointing and touching.
Yeah.
Just get it off, get it off, get it off.
All right, so let's see if this works. That's still a fuzzy dice. Yeah, natural 20.
Oh boy.
Boom.
Boomtown, get him.
Take some of the skin with it.
So it's 4d8 of necrotic.
Ooh, holy shiz.
Could have been better, but I'll take it. 14.
14. That's nice. He is not looking.
And then bonus action,
Alright.
I'll send Tika in for an attack for my
Okay.
bonus. It might matter now. She's black and she is set to acid. So that may
does
make
matter.
a difference then. So the first d6 is the bite damage. Well, let's see if she hits first. She's jumping up into the cuddle pile.
This is like a police dog, right? Like trying to take down a
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you may
Yeah.
end up prone if this goes well enough. Poor enough.
Dirty 20 on the attack.
Yeah, that hits.
So the first D6 is bite, and the second D6 is acid. So I'll see how this one comes up. All right, so it's 4 piercing and 3 acid.
Okay, and the 4 piercing seems to do damage. The acid doesn't seem to do anything to it at all. Doesn't even
All right.
sizzle. It almost like the acid that's kind of coming off of Tika's teeth just kind of absorbs right into the thing.
Yeah.
Nom nom nom.
This
All
is
right,
funny.
that's it. That's it for me.
If Krixis wasn't paranoid before, he's definitely paranoid now.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not
Yeah.
picking up any mysterious cubes anymore. I might not be listening to you.
Hey,
Well, you shouldn't have
Jacob,
listened to me in the first place.
This thing is sitting on Krixis's arm. It kind of forms this little like little circular opening out of the one side of it and lobs this wad of acid at you. I need a dexterity saving throw from you as this green glob of acid comes flying at you.
Who was that going towards?
Jacob.
Jacob.
Jacob. Okay.
Me. That is a long roll, but
Oh,
it
add
ends
plus
on a
3 to it.
19. So
Add plus 3
well,
to
no,
it.
I'm definitely not within 10 feet of you.
Oh, I thought you were.
25 anyway. 19 plus 6.
19
So-
plus 6. Okay. So you take half of this.
And I'm currently resistant to acid.
I'm rolling this to everyone because it'll be fun. You take half of 35 acid damage.
And if
Oh.
I'm resistant to acid, I take half of that.
That, yes.
Okay, so half of 35 is 17, and half of that is 8.
8. Yep. That was 96 plus 1. And now I need to roll a d6 at the end of his turn. See if he gets that back. He does not. And moves this to Krixis.
All right. Krixis is not happy. So, I am.
Hey,
gonna
it felt
try
a little bit like Mega Man there. This cannon on your arm shooting acid.
in a weird sort of way. Yeah, except attacking my friends. So I'm gonna try to use my
Mega Man.
hand axe and like scrape this jerk off.
All right.
So
Are you going to try and escape, or are you attacking him?
let me think about that for a second. I'm just gonna attack.
Okay.
I think a dead slime will be easy to get off.
So it's grappled, not restrained, correct?
Correct. So there's no drawback in other than he's not. It's gonna move wherever he moves.
Right. Yeah.
Right now.
Just like that.
That
Get it,
just
Jeff?
misses. Just misses. You're being too cautious, trying to not hit yourself. That you flinched and you just missed him.
Yeah. Paranoid. I'm gonna chop off my arm.
Paranoid, you're gonna Oscar yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinda. All right. What do I want to do here? I think then I just want to. I don't have any other cool. I guess I'm gonna give away my bardic inspiration then.
Why not?
I'm gonna just yell again to Doug, and I'm gonna say, Doug, do better. Get this asshole off me.
Do better.
Do
Be
better.
better.
You know you? Do you but better.
Do you, but better. Okay, Doug.
Do
You,
do what
but
you
better,
want.
buddy.
Do what you want, when you want, where you want, but ask Krixis first.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Yep. Pre-show, people.
Oh,
All right, so my shot.
your shot. Your turn. Don't throw away your shot.
I only get one shot. No, actually, I get two.
I don't know if you're shooting either. You're swinging a sword, aren't you? Or an axe?
I am going to. Nah, I'll swing at it. I got the bardic inspiration. I'll swing.
Swing away.
I'm going to swing. Nat 20.
Ooh, snap.
Nice.
Nat 20, baby.
Is there anything you'd like to do right now? Because you are a paladin that just rolled a nat 20. Just saying.
Is there something I can?
This is the situation that most paladins will divine smite. Because all those smite dice double.
Yes.
Have
The
divine
ability, not a spell. It's a. You should be able to do it like a
Using
number
a
of
spell
times, or
slot.
does it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what it is.
Oh,
It should be.
It adds the
Somewhere in the
radiance
actions.
damage.
Yep.
Adds typically 2d6 to your
The
attack.
nice thing about it is you get to know whether or not you hit before you pump it, if you want.
oh, yeah. I'm surprised. I did not know about this.
Yeah. A lot of paladins, I mean, when Ryan played as paladin, he'd wait for his crits, and then he'd dump divine smites into his crits, and
All the way up.
Okay.
Smite all the way up.
So how do I?
But yeah,
roll,
I mean, just
how do I roll this then?
There may be a button in your actions tab. If not, just whatever number of.
whatever spell
Nice.
slot you use.
you can create a custom spell for it, but what I would just suggest is just roll that many dice
All right. So it's
right now.
2d what? Say what?
2D what?
They're
And if it's a crit, you would double the number of dice.
When you hit with a melee weapon attack, you spend
D8s.
2d8 plus 1d8 for each spell level higher than the first. So I can do.
And you crit, and
Yep.
you critted, so you'd start with 4.
So I can do 3d8 if I do a second level.
correct. You got it.
Which would be 68, because you crit.
All right. So 68. Oops. That's nope. Burp.
That's on top of your normal damage as well, which is doubled.
So we're gonna roll the 68 first.
Okay.
Do I hear him?
31 damage.
Ooh, snap.
Yeah.
And then your normal damage roll critted.
I think I saw that come through.
Was
Yeah, that was.
five?
I think that was 5.
Yeah,
That was
2
crit?
ones.
Two
ones.
Yep.
Oh.
Mhm.
Ow. So a total of 36 damage.
36 damage.
Still
Nice.
good.
He does not look good at all.
That's a cool crit trick. I am going to definitely
yeah.
remember that.
Yes. That's
And that takes a
It's
level
honestly
2 spell.
it's the thing that makes the paladin so interesting, because you get a lot of attacks that are pretty powerful. Your defense is pretty powerful, but when you want to be, you can attack for a very high amount with one really solid swing. So
Yep.
And that
and-
takes a
and it's
spell
kind
slot,
of-
right? If
Yeah,
I read that
yes.
correctly.
A level
Yeah,
what level
yeah.
2 you think you used?
Mhm.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of a where the rogue would like use its sneak attack and surprise to get that one really big hit in the beginning. The paladin kind of has it when they hit their crit, they dump all their stuff into that.
Gotcha.
So it's really kind of neat when you see the mechanics of the characters.
And the cool
So-
thing is you still get another attack.
Yeah.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, you do. That was your first attack. Watch the second one be a crit too.
I was so entranced with my first attack that
Yeah. Gotta remember all your attacks. There's a moment of hesitation there as Doug.
19.
That hits. I'm gonna narrate this once you do your damage.
And this one I got a 6 on. So 9 damage.
Shut the front door. All right. So, describe your kill shot, and then I'll narrate exactly what happened here. Because he had 9 health left.
Oh, holy shit.
Nice.
wow.
That's how you do it.
So
So, what does the kill shot look like?
So what happened was on my first swing, I brought it up kind of like the sword of power, and it glowed, and I just walloped down on it with my divine smite, and it just really shattered it. And then on my swing back up, I just heaved it up, kind of like you're flipping a tractor tire, and I
All
swung
right.
my mace back up, kind of like a donk donk.
Nice.
And on the way back up, I smacked it off of his arm.
So you channel all your holy energy through this, and you come down, and Krixis, you nearly flinch out of the way. You feel his mace go right through the mimic and just graze your thumb, like it just tink off your gauntlet, and and then he comes back up through it, and he literally hits it on the underside, and you feel it in the palm of your hand, and your whole hand goes up, and as your hand goes up, there is mimic juice that goes everywhere. Like a fountain of gore and purple goo as this mimic splits off of your hand and into 1,000 droplets of nauseating purple crap.
And this is why Jacob stayed back. He did not need a mimic shower today.
Mimic showers for all.
Wow, that was a
I
productive
hold my
round.
arm out for Tika to start licking it off.
Ew. Ew.
Yeah,
She
Get
probably
it.
she's
would.
liking the acid right now.
Get after it, Tika.
That takes us out of initiative.
Nom nom nom.
Good
What are we doing
girl,
today,
good
kids?
girl.
Well, Krixis, that's the least I could do since I got you to grab the cube.
Box.
Ugh, at least we know what it is. I'm not touching any more cubes.
Krixis was gleaming the cube.
And now that that's done, I'm going to take a look around now that we're kind of there.
It's a
Yeah,
rain.
you see a lot of
Hallelujah. It's a rain.
see a lot of goo and stuff around the floor, but other than that, it's snow, ice, typical stuff you've seen in this cavern. There doesn't seem to be anything else in this cavern that is particularly interesting.
All right. So I'm going to head back to H32. And as a side note to the DM, you really wanted us to fight that mimic, didn't you?
I just, mimics are fun. I mean, like, you could have left the box alone. I mean, I know Aranon probably would have gone up and grabbed it right away, being him, but the way that worked was fun.
I mean, it could have been like, what is that? The Tesseract? It could have been
Yeah, it could have been anything.
something really powerful, or not. So, all right. So we're in H32 according to the map.
Yeah,
Is
if
that
you moved
true?
back, you moved
Anybody
back.
need any extra healing?
H35 was where the mimic was. H34 is all the stone stuff from the from the city. So you're walking back to H32.
Anybody need any healing?
Valine mentions that she could use a little bit if anyone's got. She's not dragging by any means. She's got a good chunk of her hit points, but if anyone,
I can
feels
give her
like
a
down
good
here.
cure wounds. I get a little bit from that too, so
Okay,
that
yeah,
would
she
be
would
cool.
take
I'll give her a level 1 cure wounds of
it. 7.
7.
She'll take it. She'll take it. That's not bad. She's well over.
Just keep rolling ones on my cure wounds.
That's fine. At least you didn't roll double ones on your damage on a crit.
Yeah. True.
And I
So you head back towards H32, and you get to the other side of it as you kind of get that vertigo sensation heading through it. There's a hallway that goes off to the right and one that heads off to the left. To the right is H33, and to the left is down towards H36.
Well, Doug would say let's go south since we've been. Or let's go
Yeah.
left because
Yeah.
going right would bring us back up to where we were.
Yeah.
Does it feel like we've been descending?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you
I
actually
just don't
see
want to
that.
run into that snake monster again.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding, right? So, and the stairs, there's actually like rough hewn ice stairs off to your left coming out of H32.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where
So
Doug would
don't
start
go
going.
that way then.
Don't go that way then. Go that way, don't go that way.
Yeah. All right. So we're going south then.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right,
Heading towards
H36.
H36.
Okay.
You enter H36.
It's Doug and
And-
Tika at the lead.
Yep.
Krixis following behind. Jacob and Valine hanging at the rear.
You're surprised to come across a grove of trees as this cavern opens up to 50-foot tall ceilings. There's actually a mixture of earth and ice underfoot. By some magic or miracle, these trees are alive. Their canopies are thick with frosty leaves. Their branches are bearing purple pears that hang there like ornaments. There's a low wall broken in several places, and it threads its way through the grove, which is surrounded. As you kind of look around, you count there's 6 exits to this grove.
Doug is gonna walk up to the tree. I'm gonna kind of walk up to the tree and kind of poke it, to kind of be sure it's not like a hallucination or something.
Mimic tree.
Yeah,
Mimic
right.
tree.
And the branches come down like was that the walloping tree in Harry Potter?
Whole grove of mimic trees.
Oh man!
Well,
Roll initiative. No.
Run, bitch,
Don't,
run!
Don't have the DM ideas.
I did the Mimic City already, so. Yeah, you poke at the tree. The tree seems very real. You walk up to that first tree and you kind of poke at it, and it's bark and.
So I'm gonna pick a fruit, a pear from it, and toss it to Krixis and say, "Hey, Krixis, try this out."
Do you try and catch the pear, Krixis?
yeah.
It's
Oh
thrown
yeah.
at you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to not catch it.
Okay, make a dexterity saving throw.
Who wants a bruised pear?
Your mom.
Yeah, Doug, if you keep this up, Krixis is going to give you a bruised pear.
Yeah, right.
It's a natural 20 for a 19.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you catch it with no problem. Jacob, as you're back there by Valine, and as this pear is thrown, you see her flinch. Krixis catches it, and then she kind of rubs her eyes and looks at Krixis again. Okay, well, all right.
You okay there, Valine?
I swore that was a head.
Jeez.
Hmm.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
Krixis is just gonna look around the area and absent-mindedly start to eat the pear.
Okay.
And Krixis is my new guinea pig. My canary in the coal mine.
How much of the pear do you eat, Krixis? It tastes delicious.
I'm gonna get you.
I mean,
killed.
if it's good, I'm gonna tell everybody what I'm experiencing. Like, tastes pretty good, guys. And I'm gonna finish. I guess I'm gonna eat it.
Okay, you need
Yeah,
to
and-
there.
Can I investigate the room specifically if there looks like anything in the room might have eaten a pear and fallen to an untimely death underneath the trees?
Sure. I'm going to have 2 things going on here as you start exploring further back into this grove, Jacob. Krixis, do me a favor and roll a d20 for me. And then I'm going to work with Jacob here for a second. Jacob, as you're walking through here, you suddenly
I'm sorry, Ryan.
hear a voice. Do you speak Elvish?
That is a good question. I
speak
do.
Elvish, but
You
I
do.
do
So
speak Elvish.
You hear a wispy, feminine voice. Say, who are you? What brings you to my grove? You don't look like the others that have been through here. Make a perception check.
and I had an 11.
Okay.
Oh man, those low numbers. 5 on perception.
Yeah, you don't see where this voice is coming from. Krixis, you feel some sort of strange magic.
Good magic.
Like you have some access to some extra magic.
Ooh.
Oh, you're welcome then.
You think you may be able to, like you're registering it in your head, and it's kind of sitting there, and you think you might be able to cast sending.
Is that messaging, like, in people's heads? Is that what that is?
It's
Yeah.
the spell sending.
It's the long range messaging, yeah.
Yeah, you send a short third level spell, one action, verbal, semantic, and material. You don't need to worry about those components. You send a short message, 25 words or less, to a creature which you are familiar with. The creature hears the message in its mind and recognizes you at the sender if it knows you. You can answer in a like manner immediately. The spell enables a creature with an intelligence score of at least 1 to understand the meaning of your message. You can send a message across any distance and even to other planes of existence. But if the target is on a different plane than you, there's a 5% chance the message doesn't arrive. You have this ability for the next 24 hours.
Oh, that's dope.
I mean, I'd like to think Krixis would want to think about it, but I'm pretty sure he would just try to give Ellie an update if he thinks that this would work.
All right. Think about what you want. Craft your 25-word message to Ellie. Well, I work with Jacob here a bit more.
Yep.
Jacob would say, we mean, and he would say it in Elvish, which isn't his first language, so it might be a little off, but we mean no harm, we're just passing through. It's a beautiful grove. Do you know the way to Ythrin?
There's a soft
Which came across as, you have a beautiful couch. Do you know the way to your mom?
No, he speaks Elvish. It's a little broken and funny. And she giggles at this voice, this feminine, wispy voice giggles at him and says, "Oh, you're kind of funny. You don't speak Elvish very well. What is your name?"
I'm Jacob. What's your name?
"Jacob, I'm Hathawin." "It's nice to meet you." And at this point, you see a feminine bark-shaped figure step out of a tree. Literally out of the bark of a tree and stand before you.
Is anybody else nearby that would see this?
Where is Doug right now?
Doug would have been kind of just milling around after he had been kind of paying attention to Krixis after throwing him the pear. So he probably would not. It depends upon where Jacob is in that grove.
Voline would have seen Jacob. She would have kept seeing that Doug was keeping an eye on Krixis. Voline probably would have been trying to keep an eye on everyone. And when Hathawin steps out of the tree, she doesn't hear what you guys are talking about, but she says, "Krixis, Doug, we have company." And she points, and you guys move around the wall to see where she is, standing face to face with Jacob, probably about 10 feet away.
So Doug is going to kind of keep his distance and just be wary, cautious.
Yeah, nothing in here so far has been friendly, except that as a ranger, Jacob would respect nature and trees and things, so kind of hoping that this might be an exception. Mm-hmm. So he'd probably be okay with a close-up interaction.
Okay. Do you have your message together now, Krixis?
Yeah.
Okay.
My message is, Aranon's life has been lost to the brutal caves. Continuing to Ythrin, the end is in sight. Missing you, maybe.
Missing you.
Are
Hugs
you
and kisses.
Are you pooping?
You pooping.
There's a gasp and a kind of shuddering no you hear her utter. And she said, She says, please be safe. Stay strong. Come back to me.
Good. I would tell everybody else, but nobody else really.
Knows
I
her.
mean, maybe Jacob knows
Jacob
her.
knows her a little bit, yeah.
So I would say, after eating that pear, I was able to communicate with Eliana. It is fantastical.
Just so you know, I spoke with some lady in my head that nobody knows.
Yeah, Jacob would look over at Krixis, just breaking eye contact just long enough, and then go back to.
These pears are magical. One might say they're magically delicious. It actually says that in the book, guys. I had to. The pears hanging from the trees are magically delicious. It's something.
Is she talking in Elvish?
Yeah, she's talking in Elvish.
Okay.
I thought purple
Elvish?
was for horseshoes.
Yeah.
Who understands Elvish?
I think everybody.
I do. Yeah, I lived with the elves.
No, Doug.
Oh no, I'm thinking Aranon was half elf. Doug is not a half elf.
Doug is not a. Doug's a bird.
Are they safe to eat?
In doses, yes. I would not indulge. But one might.
Are we allowed? Are we allowed to take some?
Sure, you can take one. I'd ask that you not strip the tree bare.
How long do they last off the tree? Krixis asks.
A day or two.
All right. Krixis is gonna take one of them for his satchel.
Okay.
Jacob would take a pair, which means two of them.
Okay.
A pair of pears.
A pair.
No, it's important that you made that distinction.
Yep.
Not understanding anything that they're saying, Doug would also take two pairs, just seeing Krixis and Jacob doing it. And I would actually put two in my bag, and then... Actually, I would put one in my bag and eat one.
Okay. Consuming the whole pair there, Doug. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
Niner.
It's funny, you feel this very, very different magic. Then suddenly you understand what Krixis was talking about. You can send a message from very, very far away.
Ooh, I can do the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send one to Eliana. No.
Errors of sending.
Yeah, you're starting to assume that these just allow you to send messages great distances if you eat one of these pairs.
And then I will ask Hathawin if she knows the way to the city of Ythrin from here.
To Ythrin? Why would you want to go to Ythrin? She says.
We're on a mission for God.
Actually, we're on a mission against a god, but no. We're looking for magics to help us to take care of a threat.
Well, I'm not sure which way Ythrin is, but I will tell you this. There are 3 dark elves. They come through here occasionally. They move from the southwest and southeast passages. I haven't talked to them yet because they don't look very friendly. And then there's the creatures that followed them. These strange one-eyed creatures with like sharp spikes on them. And they don't look very friendly either. So I just stay hidden in my tree. You looked approachable. You looked friendly. You looked like you might stay. Would you stay with me?
We may be able to stay for a short time, but we're definitely on a mission.
Just a short time, she says.
And I'll kind of, in common to the group, like, do you guys think this is a good place? Does anybody need a short rest here?
And she looks at you again, Jacob, and says, really? Just for a short time? And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, here we go. I'm good at these, right?
And
didn't
I'm
even
not
need a
within
pair.
10 feet because I was keeping my distance.
I'll ask a question if it matters. It probably won't. Okay, good. 22.
22. The hair on the back of your neck kind of stands up a little bit. You think she just tried to persuade you magically in your mind?
Yeah, this mind magic down here is getting creepy.
Run away! Run away!
Yeah, Jacob, as a general business model, does not want to be rude to any potential clients, which he would, just assume everyone is. So he's be looking for a polite way to start investigating around the exits. Probably would start eating a pear just to do something with his mouth.
Okay. You start eating a pear and investigating around. And she looks at you as you walk away, and she kind of frowns and pouts just a little bit. And then looks up and happens to notice Krixis beyond. And walks over to him.
Okay. Can I call Tika over and have Tika interact with this creature?
You could call Tika over and have Tika interact. What do you want Tika to do? Because she's walking towards Krixis now.
I'll just say, Tika, be playful.
Roll over, scratch your belly.
So just kind of be, like a pet wanting attention kind of thing. Like, hey, scritch me.
Nuzzling hands and stuff. And
yeah.
And she kind of looks down and goes, oh, aren't you a friendly one? Will you stay here? Will you stay here with me? And Tika, being friendly, just kind of, oh, maybe you will. Oh, we'll see. We will see. I want to talk to your other friend over here. Hello, she says as she looks up at Krixis. What is your name?
I am Krixis, my lady. In Elvish.
So can Doug intercede and kind of... I would probably... Seeing Jacob like kind of shake off whatever she said.
Yeah.
I would stand in front of Krixis and make eye contact and say, don't listen to her. Because I don't understand anything anybody said. I just heard gaga gibberish.
I would tell, knowing that Krixis and Valine are still a little bit mind wonky, I would tell Doug, like, I think she tried to influence me somehow, and I don't know if she's trying to siren us into staying here.
All right. So after
when you go to step and make eye contact with Krixis as she's approaching, you notice Valine has actually taken up position behind one of the walls and is hiding. She literally ran from this dryad and is hiding. Like, fearfully hiding, which is something you've never seen her do before. Mm-hmm. Something has her really bothered by this. You do also know that she thought the pair was ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that to Krixis, and then I'm actually going to, depending upon his reaction, I'm going to physically turn him around, like, so he can't see her.
And Krixis is just going to say, the lady has allowed us in her pear garden to imbibe upon her sustenance.
Yes, but
we should be respectful.
Respect is one thing, but falling under her spell is another. We've stayed here. We've lingered too long. We've got to go.
Indeed, of course I agree with you. We are on a mission.
Jacob, go ahead and roll a d20 for me as you finish your pair.
Oh,
Do-do-do.
if we
Fuzzy
fail, are you
dice. Fuzzy dice.
trapped here?
2.
2.
2 on the pair die.
You feel this strange magic, something you've never felt before. It seems very familiar, though, being kind of naturalistic as you are. You have the charm of Druidcraft. You can cast Druidcraft for the next 24 hours.
Cool.
Once it is used 3 times, it will vanish from you. Oh, yeah, this is not 24 hours. The sending, Krixis. The sending, once you've used it, that spell vanishes from you. You feel that magic dissipate from you.
Okay.
They each have things. They'll last 24 hours so you have up to 24 hours to use them, but they all have use counts.
Okay. Well, I'll tell Doug, because he said he kind of feels like he could do the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll tell him that, hey, once I used it, it doesn't seem I can use it again.
Oh, good to know. I'll save that. I would.
Scratch that they last indefinitely. I apologize. The 24 hours is something else.
Oh,
okay.
So I would, upon pushing Krixis, I would push him towards H39. Like, we just need to get past this grove. Because the two south caves, she said, is where those dark elves came from, right?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't know that.
Southwest and southeast.
I would
You
not
don't
know that, but
Yeah, you didn't hear.
I would push him towards H39 anyways, just to get past the trees and continue.
All right. And Krixis would yell out, "Thank you for your hospitality, madame."
You won't stay?
I'm going to smack him
says?
on the back of the head. Go! Don't listen to her.
You won't stay? Make a wisdom saving throw, Krixis, as you're being pushed and shoved away.
Fuck!
At least
all right,
you get a plus on it.
But my paranoia is disadvantage. Is that?
Yep.
Was it checks or saving throws?
Checks.
Checks.
Okay. So not saving.
Got it.
And Doug is within 10 feet.
Doug is within 6 inches.
He is. Yeah. So +3 then?
+3.
14 + 3 is 17.
17. You feel the hair on the back of your neck stand
Good roll.
up.
Good roll.
You kind of shake off this magic thing and you understand what Doug is talking about.
Yeah. Oh, Doug, we need to move faster.
As you start moving faster, Valine comes at a full sprint, seeing the two of you, and joins up with you two. She wants nothing to do with this lady.
Did she Scooby-Doo it? Like, jump up and, not move anywhere? Her feet are running so fast.
Basically, she said, we need to get out of here. We need to get out of here now. He will annihilate our minds. We need to get out of here.
I'm going to yell after her, no shit, Sherlock.
So you guys rapidly move. Does anyone say anything to Jacob?
Jacob,
You're
we go.
meandering around.
Am I near the entrance to H38 or 37 that I could peek in as I follow them?
Oh, sure, yeah. 37. You've walked
Just
around.
whichever way you think that I would have.
I imagine you would have gotten a peek into both of them if you want, as you're wandering around eating your pear here. Peeking into H37.
You investigated the entire area, right?
Yeah, I was walking around.
You peek in H37. Are you doing this quietly, stealthily, or just walking around?
Just as I was walking around investigating, I would have looked in, and then as I see them leaving, I would probably not have spent really any time. I would not have went past the entrance to either of them.
Okay. The H38, I need you to... give me 1 second here.
Wisdom saving throw.
No, I need you to roll a d12 as you peek into H38.
I get paranoid at every single dice roll now. Maybe I should be the one that's paranoid.
Paranoid by proxy.
I'm gonna.
That took a
also-
journey. 9.
9. Yeah, you look in there, it's just an ice cave. There's a little bit of echoing off the wall as you bite into the pear and you hear that crunch off the walls. And you're, all right. You walk over to H37 and you're just peeking your head in there and you see these 4 creatures all huddled together against the back wall. They have one eye and these spiny protrusions from their back and arms. You think this is the creatures that Hathawin was telling you about, and
Don't talk
at that
to
moment you see they're leaving and you run to catch up with them,
Yeah.
leaving these creatures huddled
Seems
in
like
the
a good
corner of
plan.
this cave.
Yeah, run away.
They did not seem threatening. They seemed huddling.
They seemed huddling. They kind of,
Okay.
at seeing you, they kind of all stood up and kind of looked, and looked like they may approach, but then you left so quickly they ducked back down.
Okay.
Reminds me of those creatures in I Am Legend, just sitting in the corner, like breathing really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's terrifying.
exactly.
Looking at the chat, is the professor around where I can grab him? We kind of neglected to make sure we have him managed appropriately.
Oh,
Yeah.
you left him alone. He might have gone to hang out with Valine.
Yeah, he's probably having a great conversation with Hathaway. Is that who it was?
Hathawin?
Hathawin.
Tree Hathaway.
Professor Scant has, I mean, if he was on his own, he would have hung around Valine. He would have stayed near her. And when she started panicking and stuff, you could probably hear him whispering, it's okay, it's not him. It's not him.
Got it.
And she doesn't believe him at all. So he's following her around now, trying to keep her mind focused on what it actually is and what is not, as she is hallucinating about several things. So when she comes running up to you guys, the professor comes rolling in right behind her on his mage hand.
Okay, awesome. I think this is gonna work. Then we'll continue to let him explore. Maybe he'll provide us some good commentary.
Yeah, I think he's too well invested to do anything devious. Can I, as the last thing on the way out, use those 3 instances of Druidcraft to make the full blossoming effect of the 3 closest pear blossoms to Hathawin, and just say in Elvish, like, until we meet again, kind of thing, like, as if I'm not spooked by her thing, even though I am, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, I'm gonna leave a parting gift so that we're not on bad terms.
Sure. Yeah, and she says, "You're sure you won't stay? How about you? You sure you won't stay?" And Doug, go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw at
Okay.
advantage because you have not bought into any of this.
Even
and
though
see
I
her
don't
as
know
a
what she's
threat.
saying.
You
While
have no
he's
idea.
doing that, I'm gonna try to grab 2 more pears off the nearest tree.
Okay, make a dexterity check to grab 2 more pears as you run past. Doug, you got your wisdom saving throw at advantage.
It is only a 3.
Only a 3. You do not manage to grab any more pears.
Okay.
18.
18. And yes, you feel your feathers on the back of your neck stand up, and you all run your way down H39.
You had to try and get that parting shot at me, didn't you, John?
She wants you guys to stay, and she catches the pears, and
Highly
Jacob
motivated.
and Krixis, you hear, oh, well, back to hiding, I guess. As she melds into her tree, leaving the pears laying on the ground from the Druidcraft. Your Druidcraft has then left you.
Expired. Yep.
Expired. There is this tunnel of ice cuts through the glacier, and it's almost a mile that you're walking through this tunnel, through this cavern. And you reach the end of this cavern, and before you, opening up deep and wide and long, with its
Giggity.
tower standing in the middle and the peak on the outside. This vast grotto enclosed by gleaming ice is a fantastic city sculpted by ancient magic and illuminated in a haunting way by green and purple lights that seem to shed no warmth. It's slightly tilted, leaning away from you, as though recoiling from your presence. You stand atop a causeway of frost-covered ice that stretches toward the city like the dead, frozen tongue of some hideous behemoth whose mouth you've just stepped out of. Welcome to Ythrin.
Oh, snap.
Hoo-hoo-hoo.
I swear guy is still alive.
You hear Valine gasp as she takes in the sight.
Buckets.
And, what's his face? Scant. You hear him whisper in awe, "The lost city of Ythrin. This is it. We made it. We're alive." Well, you're alive. I'm just a crystal.
Touche.
Fair enough, yeah.
No, well, you're a ball to have along with us.
I appreciate that. So you stand before the lost Netherese city of Ythrin. I wonder if I can do this quick. Maybe not. Oh, you know how I could? No, I'm not logged in there. I was gonna try and send you the map quick. I didn't think we'd get right here. In fact, it is a little early, but let's call it here. It's a good spot to call it.
Okay.
We're about 15 minutes early.
So would there be a nice place to
make?
maybe just do a kind of a camp and a regroup and kind of just
Sure.
spend the day looking to see what we can see and
Yeah. You can
kind
take a
of
short
planning
rest
out
here.
a strategy.
Yeah, you can. You looking over the city. In fact, let me take some time to. There's a large spire in the middle of the city, a tower, a wizard's tower with arms that reach out of it down to sections. It seems to be sectioned off in 1, 2, 3, like 6 different ovular sections that have like roads that it looks like a giant wheel almost. And on the outside edge of the city are all these claws that kind of reach off and up, and some of them through the snow on the backside. You do notice movement down in the city. So there's something alive down there that you see move occasionally. There seem to be some things that are floating, some things that are walking.
Creatures, though?
Yeah, creatures. From the distance you're looking, yeah. There seems to be spouts of magical energy that flash and dot the surface of the city too, as you're looking down on it.
So is Ythrin supposed to be a friendly city? Like, do we need to like sneak through and do stuff, or like?
I mean,
That's
I
a
think
good question.
I think what we were told was that it was a magical city. It crashed into the ice and hasn't been seen in thousands of years. And
Professor Gant actually goes, well, actually, Netheril, the Empire of Netheril, arose more than 5,000 years ago. Those that follow the Dale Reckoning calendar would place the date of Netheril's birth at about negative 3859 DR. The Netherese legacy began with the discovery of the Nether Scrolls. These long golden scrolls taught the Netherese arcanists how to wield magic beyond their wildest fantasies. It took centuries, but the Netherese who mastered the power of the Nether Scrolls became a ruling class, living on great flying cities like Netheril. or like Ythrin. Despite their great power, they faced an ever-growing threat, and under the heart of the Empire lived spell-casting aberrations called Faerun. They were using their ability to drain the magic. They began to unravel the weave, what controls all magic in the world.
Eesh.
The Netherrealm Empire would collapse into ruin about negative 339 DR, 4 years after this city fell. The Empire's most powerful arcanist, Krixis, he attempted to neutralize the Faerun threat by causing a spell of unparalleled power that would enable him to replace Mistral as the god of magic, giving him absolute control over the weave. Mistral countered him at a key moment during the casting of the spell, a feat she could only accomplish by sacrificing herself and tearing the weave. He was slain instantly, and for a time thereafter, most of the creatures of the world were either without magic or simply unable to control it. Without great magic to keep them aloft, the remaining cities of Netherrealm crashed to the ground, and many arcanists who had survived were driven mad. Once magic came back to use, these arcanists could no longer cast their mightiest spells as they had before, forcing them to resort to traditional wizardry. 400 years after Krixis had cast this spell, the Netherese Empire was no more, crushed by its enemies and undone by its own hubris. In our realms, Netherrealm is the definitive lost empire. It rose to unparalleled heights, but eventually fell to ruin. Out of this empire came many fearsome monsters, bizarre dungeons, and wondrous magic items, such as this city of Ythrin.
So that didn't answer my question. Are they friendly, or do we need to watch out?
Well, seems they would be undead of some sort, so I don't know that it would be friendly necessarily.
And then recognizing that Doug doesn't speak the language, he would also bring up the fact that dark elves have been coming in here, and we don't know if they're friendly, but in most interactions we've had with them, it's unlikely. And so it could be that they're in the city also.
Fair enough. So be careful. Noted.
But there could be some cool shit in here. So
Seeing the magical energy exploding on the city, it almost explodes and poofs and disappears and wisps away on the city streets.
Badass. Let's go get us some Ythrin, boys. And Valine. Valine's pronouns are probably they and them, though, so seems fine.
Yeah, she's a she. She, her.
Tika's very much a she also.
See a they, them. Everything refers to Valine as a her in the book.
Got it. All right. Awesome. Well, hey, good work, team. We found the lost city.
It only took like 12 sessions.
And y'all can go to level 9 now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Doing it.
Oh,
good music transition there, Norm.
What am I looking for? I'm looking for this. And this.
Oh. Nice.
All right. Cool. Well, we are Two Nerds One Quest. We are here every Sunday morning, most Sunday mornings, 8:30 a.m. Central Time. You can find us wherever there's podcast. You can go to twitch.tv/TomMNorm, TOMMNORM, to catch us live, or watch the replay. Replays are up for, I think Twitch holds on to them for about a month, and then usually the week after they are up on YouTube. So they are there in perpetuity. Is that the right word?
I think so. That was the word I was going to say.
I'll put a quarter in for that word. Yeah. If you want to support us, subscribe to the podcast. Click the follow button here in Twitch. Get notified when we go live. Join our Discord. The link is in chat here. bit.ly/OurFunDiscord. You can get notified there as well. I remembered to actually use the announcement channel today, so anybody in our Discord should have gotten a notification. Subscribe to the podcast anywhere you get a podcast from. Leave us a review. Let others know if you enjoy it. Let others know if you don't enjoy it, and let them find out for themselves. Patreon.com/2nerds1quest. We got some fun rewards going on. Even at the $1 level, you get the unedited podcast with the pre-show talk and the post-show talk. So, check it out. Yeah. We would love to have your support. Helps us keep this thing running. So for me, for Mr. Lazy Dragon, for the Giant Cooch, and for DMJC, we'll catch you next week.
We made it through, guys.
Boomtown.
Level 9.